Hey, Stuart here with another edition of backpacking tips, tricks, hacks, facts, and etiquette. Today's topic, should you bring bear bells, bear bangers, an air horn, or use a whistle when backpacking? Bear bells, they are synonymous with backpacking. You hear the ding, 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 ding all the time. Some people tie them to their dog. I'm going to be honest with you, in all but very, very specific situations, I believe, honestly, bear bells are useless. They're a placebo. They're an annoyance to yourself. Imagine having to listen to that ding, ding, ding for 12 kilometers or 20 kilometers. And they don't work. They don't work. And I'm going to show you why they don't work. Here are a couple of clips from past videos where I explain why bear bells really aren't helpful. I'm walking into the wind. That means animals can't smell me, and they have a heck of a time hearing me. This is the trail. So again, from the floods in 2013, this section got washed out. So what you do is you come out of there, come down around, pick your way up. It'd be really nice if I had something, I'd leave it here for a marker. It'd be really nice if there was a marker like right here. See, that's the point. If it's windy, if you're going into the wind, if you are along like a raging river, unlike this one, if you're along a raging river that's noisy, the bear's not going to hear a bell until you're on top of it. It's really not helpful. You need to call out with your voice. And that brings me to my next question that I always see. Should I use an air horn? Should I use a whistle? Let me tackle whistles first. Whistles are loud, and we all carry emergency whistles. Most of them are built into our backpacks, so that's something that's pretty common, right? But when it comes to blowing a whistle as a bear deterrent, I'm going to give you one tip. If you are in an area where bears hunt marmots, where they dig them out and eat them, don't use a whistle, because marmots whistle. That's how they communicate a threat to each other. So if you start whistling, you may indeed actually have a bear go, whoa, is there a marmot over there? Just saying it. Listen, the chances of it happening, I'm sure, are slim, but I don't use a whistle. I was in the Bob Marshall Wilderness this summer, which is not marmot country really, and I heard a guy every 10 seconds going into his whistle and then yelling out, hey bear! And I could almost time it 10 seconds later doing the same thing. All you really need to do is call out with your human voice, and that will suffice. Nice and loud. Don't use a whistle if you're in areas where grizzly bears hunt marmots, because you may end up kind of getting them a little curious. Now, an air horn. That's an interesting one. I carry an air horn, but I would never, ever use it on the trail as a call to a bear, because how many canisters of that compressed air would I have to bring for some of the long hikes that I do, right? Again, I call out. That's your number one thing. Hey, sing, whatever you want to do, but just make noise is the idea. Make noise the bear can hear. Now, a bear can hear an air horn, but I don't think you can carry enough compressed gas. I carry an air horn for a specific reason. I put it in my tent at night. I've explained it before. It's just something I do. It's certainly not necessary. But when I'm out in more remote places where, bears aren't habituated to humans or to air horns, and I'll touch on that in a sec. When I'm out in those places, I figure if something happens at night, something poking around my tent, I can use the air horn to scare it and back it off for a bit so I can get out with my headlamp and my bear spray and kind of figure out what's going on. Because, I just think it's out here, it's going to startle them. Now, where it won't startle them is a place like the West Coast Trail, where they used to hand air horns out like candy at the Guardian huts. And of course, well, here's a clip of why it's pointless, because they become habituated to it. Watch this. Well, looks like you might be leaving. By the way, for all you proponents of air horns, useless. A guy just tried to scare it away with an air horn, and they just looked at us like we were all crazy. So I know there's a lot of folks online, especially on the Facebook page for this trail, talking about, oh, you don't need bear spray, you don't need bear spray. Folks, you need bear spray. No, gonna relax. Not gonna leave. Oh my God, there's a cub. There's a cub! It's a female! So that was my trip where I ate the oatmeal underneath a tree, and there was a mom and a cub up there, and I didn't even know it. They were no threat, but the guy came by him, he's blowing the air horn, and the bear was just like, really? I'm trying to have a nap or feed my cub up here. Knock it off. But out here, it could help you in the evening or during the night if there's something in camp and you really want to give yourself some time to get out of the tent. Last topic, bear bangers. I'm not against them, but I would never use them. First of all, you better be a good shot. And here's why. If you fire off a bear banger and it goes behind the bear that's coming towards you, now you got a problem. Now you've spooked the bear from behind and it's going to start running towards you, and maybe it's a bit annoyed now. You may have made the situation worse. Also check regulations. Bear bangers are not permitted everywhere. And again, I would never rely on a bear banger. I'm going to carry my bear spray and I'm going to make noise. And I know how to behave when a bear bluff charges me. When a bear's in the vicinity, I know how to behave. And of course, that's in another video on this series about tips, tricks, hacks, facts, and backpacking etiquette. See you next time.